Welcome back, Sunday Society, to another episode of Taking Back Sunday. Everyone, you even have like a
scratch. Scratch.
So today we are going to be rewinding back to when we talked about addiction and recovery. So, yeah,
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
It's
3
been like
years
3
since
years.
that episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to ask follow-ups on. I know there's probably plenty of things that you want to talk about that maybe look different or the same.
Yeah, so we're excited to talk to you about it today. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take back Sunday.
Hi, Hannah.
Hey, girl.
How's it going?
Good.
It's been a tough week. 2 weeks.
If I'm being honest, it is, yeah.
It's been tough, but I am excited to talk today about recovery. I know the last time we had an episode like this, we really focused on the word addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that you had mentioned, before when we were kind of planning for this, that it would be more of a recovery centered episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to kind of look at recovery as opposed to the addiction. So before we dive into something kind of heavy, I want to first make a joke that you and I had very customer service voices when we first started recording this podcast.
Yes, we did.
And as much as I can appreciate listening to it and being very ASMR, I feel like we're more us now.
Yeah.
We're very comfortable. We don't have to talk like we are on news radio and trying to put people to sleep. And as fun as this voice is to make, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
To have to try to keep that up the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a podcast that's just ASMR, but
I love ASMR. I listen to it literally every day.
I loved when we would record, we'd have a break. You would go ASMR. I loved it.
They do weird, yeah.
Yeah. So that I thought was funny to kind of it's not going to be quite as heavy, I don't think. There might be some heavier questions or things that we have to talk about. But
very ASMR.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, hold on.
Focus. That gave me the good shivers.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I thought we would start like we did last time with icebreaker questions.
Love that.
So I am a Pinterest girl and I found this post on Pinterest.
Oh, yay.
And these are some questions that I thought we could answer together.
Okay.
First one is, what's the funniest thing someone's ever said behind your back?
So I had someone one time say that I was cold and unapproachable. And I was like, literally, out of all the things I've ever heard, it's the last thing that anybody has ever said. I've always been you're warm or you're yellow, sunshine, whatever.
Yeah.
And this was before I didn't really like people either. They
dang.
said I was cold and unapproachable. And I was like, oh my
is right, because I am cold and unapproachable. If anybody in this room is cold, it's Bianca, because I just have very big walls up in public, people. But it's crazy though, because I say I am unapproachable unless it's some random person at Walmart that sees the flower. And this happened to me, saw me put I had a flower in the checkout. I checked out, self-checkout. This woman had come up through the back way to come in through the self-check to get to the store. And she stopped and was like, "These are the most beautiful flowers." And I said, "Oh, thank you." Proceeds to tell me this whole story about her life and her sister and how they went to Powell Gardens to the butterfly garden and this big blue butterfly landed on her and her sister snapped a picture of it really quick. And I was like, this is an angel being sent to humble me for being so isolated. And I was like, this was a nice moment of human connection. Even though it's kind of weird that somebody wanted to share all that with me, I thought, how nice is it that I felt like that safe person that she could talk to? And I was like, I like that, because I'm not approachable. If we're ever at the bar, people are not approaching me to buy me drinks. They are approaching Hannah because she exudes warmth and bubbliness and friendliness.
Not anymore, because I am married and I am sober.
Well, yes. Even you can be sober and still have a big personality that attracts people.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So the funniest thing anyone's ever said about me.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yes.
So, okay. This is not, I mean, it's, I guess I read this as like, what's the funniest thing? Like, I have a rumor that somebody had said about me back in 2009. Somebody had said that they had seen me like making out with somebody on the hood of someone else's car, like out in public in the streets.
In the streets?
In the streets. And I was like, me? Bianca? You have the right person? I don't even go in the streets.
She doesn't even go
here.
Doesn't
even go here. I don't. And I just was so shocked that somebody said that about me. I'm like, who do you think is going to believe that?
That's wild.
Did
you know who said it about you?
Yes. That's the funniest thing anyone's ever said about me. I'm still to this day, I'm like, why would anybody have thought that was me?
Wild.
It really was.
Oh my.
It really was. Okay.
Wild.
Second question is, who is the last person that you would trust with a secret?
Brunley Taylor Brown.
Oh my gosh, if that's not the truth. I was going to say her, but my mother. My mama can't. I love her, but she can't keep a secret.
Yeah. My daughter.
Yeah.
Nope.
Unless, I mean, she's very selective about like what secrets she keeps.
Yeah.
What is the craziest thing that you've seen someone else do? Both of mine are in New York City, baby. You already know.
So I saw a man take off after like circa what year did I put? Circa 2012.
Oh.
Leaving the pig
after
the night before Thanksgiving down on a motorcycle and tries to like do this trick and just crashes in front of all these people. And then he like for a second I'm like, and then he jumps. So everybody starts cheering for him.
Ain't no stopping him now.
And he just takes off and goes. And I was like, that is wild.
That is insane.
I thought he needed a doctor, like an emergency
Get him some milk.
Oh, man.
Did you know who it was?
Yeah. So anyway, it might not be the craziest thing I seen, but that's what I thought of. But yes, circa 2012.
That is crazy.
The pig. And if you're from Lexington, you know what the night before Thanksgiving is.
Yeah. Because apparently that's not a thing like worldwide. It's very like niche Midwestern type of cultural thing. The craziest thing that I've seen someone do, and you were with me when we were in New York, we saw this woman putting on her eyelashes on the subway. Like, going on this bumpy subway. This queen had this like down to a science. I was like, damn, they really are built different in New York.
Yes, she had done it before.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not her first rodeo.
And then the second thing was when I went to New York for school, I saw an underwear race. I have no idea what it was, but it was a bunch of people in their underwear doing like a marathon. I was like,
only their underwear?
Yes, ma'am. It was fun. I was 17 and culturally innocent. So it was a very fun moment for Bianca.
I also have been to Key West during Halloween time. So that was some crazy stuff. But we can't talk about the things I saw on this podcast.
That's the Taking Back Sunday after dark. What's the most awkward situation that you've been in?
I think I might have talked about this before on the podcast. I'm not sure. But if not,
we're about to.
I'm going to get canceled. So we had people at one of the nursing homes that I worked at. We had people parking in the handicap that should not have been there. And there was a big deal. Have we talked about this on here?
I think so.
Well,
that's fine.
Anyway.
If you're new, buckle up.
I, in a professional setting, am not very confrontational. I try really hard to just like make sure everything's Gucci, whatever. This day I pull up, I see a car. I see a vendor get out to walk in. She has her bag that she's like doing labs with. And I see the car is parked in the handicap and there's no handicap sign on the, she didn't put a handicap sign in. And I'm like, okay, Today's the day. Today's the day that I'm going to put my foot down and be like, hey, you cannot do that. So you walk in there and I go up to the girl and I'm like, you cannot park in the handicap parking spot if you're not handicapped. And she looks me dead in the eye and was like, I am, and it's on my license plate. And I sure enough walked away and was like, oh. I was like, oh. And then I didn't know what to say.
Oh, no.
And so I walked out there. Sure enough, I done offended a disabled person. The one time I'm going to die on a hill. And that was not
You chose the wrong hill, baby. You chose the wrong one.
I was like, oh, I'm such a bad person. I want to crawl in a hole. I just was like, I apologized. And she looked at me like,
oh my gosh. I have horrific secondhand embarrassment from that.
I was like, out of all the times people parked in that parking spot and shouldn't have. Yeah. And that is the one time that I never said anything again. You don't have a handicap sticker up? Well, you might have just forgotten. I'm just going to keep walking.
I'm just going to mind my business because who cares?
Yeah. I think it started with families like saying like we can't park because people that aren't handicapped are parking in the handicap parking. And so I was
you were just alerted to it, you know.
Yeah, and they were like, can you address people? And that day I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to address it.
Oh my gosh. The amount of like courage and bravery, like you had talked yourself up too. You were like, I was like, I'm going
to walk in there and I'm going to just like, they're a vendor. Like that's disrespectful. And then, I was wrong.
So wrong. Well, I don't have anything.
Oh, I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I don't have anything quite that awkward. The most, it wasn't awkward, but it was embarrassing. When I was in college, and we might have talked about this on here too. It was snowing and I was walking back from class and it was like that slushy time where like, it's not quite like compacted snow and it's not water like rain. So it's very slippery if you know where I'm going with this. I had just crossed the street and slipped and fell in front of my dorm and nobody stopped to help me. People walked over me. No, it's horrible. Fine. It's fine because I was fine. So I just laid there like I'm just gonna die of embarrassment.
Nobody even talked to you?
No. Nobody said 2 words to me. They were just like, we're going inside. It was snowing. Nobody would. Girl.
I would have stopped to help you.
I laid there and just ceased to exist.
I'd have been like, oh my gosh, girl. Even if I wouldn't have known you, I'd been like, oh my gosh, girl, you good? Like, let me help you out.
I wasn't good. I laid there like, my whole left side of my body or right side of my body hurts. I'm soaking wet and I hated my life at that point. I was just like, what else could go wrong? And you know, was fun.
Let me just say, I have embarrassed myself so many times. It was hard to find something.
Yeah. Well, so like, I always like wave when people are waving at the person behind me or like saying hi. I'm like, hey, and then I'm like, oh, okay, bye. Like, just please kill me now. Or like when the waiter's like, enjoy your food. I'm like, you too, baby.
Yeah. Or hope you enjoy the show. You too. Like,
yeah.
What? Yeah.
I will.
Nope. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is no offense to you and Zach, but some of the awkward situations are when you guys are fighting and I'm just sitting there like, I want to go home. And I will get up and go home. I'll be like, that has not happened in a very long time. Like, honestly, since you got sober, I feel like those types of fights don't happen anymore. But I was like, and we can take that out if you want to.
There are some times where I'm like we were somewhere recently and we were not fighting, but he had a tone with me. Mm-hmm. And when we left, I was like, don't you ever talk like that to me again. He's like, I was kidding. I'm like, I don't care. It did not sound like kidding. We were at the softball game. And I was like, don't you ever use that tone with me. It's in front of my friends.
I didn't like it either.
In public?
Yeah. In public?
Okay, yeah.
I didn't like it either.
But I waited because I was like,
You were like, poor Bianca.
Just wait.
Yeah. Just you wait.
This will be a conversation. No, but like I've fallen and snapped my pinky in half and like my shirt came up like in front of everybody. I walked into a pole before my very first day of high school. I bled through my jeans in choir. Like the list of things that I have done, like, that was embarrassing.
Same. I fainted and peed all over myself at state speech in Columbia in front of thousands of high schoolers.
Listen, Bianca and I, we've never shared this. Bianca and I went to go stay with her at her apartment in Ozark. And
oh, shoot. Yeah.
Her bed broke.
Oh, my gosh.
And
you were like 8 weeks pregnant with Corbin. Like, barely pregnant.
Barely. Was I only 8 weeks?
No, I think you were maybe still in your first. You were not very far along.
But like the bed, like I don't know what happened.
One of the slats underneath had like broken, so like one corner of the bed was.
It like
tipped.
Came down, and when it did, I just bloop right out on my stomach. And of course, I'm young. I'm a first-time mom. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, 19.
I let Bianca know. She calls 911, and then she passes out.
Fainted.
So I called.
I forgot about that. Did I call 911 or did you call them twice?
No, you called the first time. I called the second time because I was like, my friend just passed out.
They said 2 ambulances and neither of us went in it.
Neither of us needed.
We are definitely a story somewhere in Ozark, Missouri. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
But then, so I actually fainted twice.
You did.
Because I thought, and then I went to the bathroom and then fainted again with my pants below my ass. You were like, girl, pull your pants up.
I was trying to help you.
I was like, I fainted.
I just didn't want you to be embarrassed when
I remember coming to thinking, oh, that's breezy back there.
Oh my gosh. So that's probably the most embarrassing now. This one, the one I shared, tops all.
It does.
Of them.
You win. You win.
Yeah.
Even me laying freezing to death on the side of the street. I had my backpack on both shoulders and everything. Whew, okay. Let's talk about recovery now. A fun little transition.
Yeah.
So we started the last episode with a quote. And I wanted to repeat the quote because we started both episodes with a quote. Yeah. And the first one is, addiction is giving up everything for one thing, and recovery is giving up one thing for everything. And I still love that. Mm-hmm. And the second one is something along the lines of, you should recover loudly so people don't die quietly. Mm-hmm. And I love that too. Like, recover loudly. And I feel like when we last recorded, you were right, like almost to your 1 year mark. Yeah. So you were recovering very loudly. You were I'm doing this. And you did it. And it was amazing. So we really focused on what that beginning part of recovery looked like for you.
And kind of how I got there.
Yeah. We really spent time like laying the foundation of kind of the background and what led up to it, the peak of that, and then kind of the falling action. If we're talking narrative plot line, everybody, if you were an English teacher, you remember your narrative writing.
Or you just like English.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talked about meetings being kind of your saving grace. Like those were the things, that's really what got you through. And you talked about NA and Celebrate Recovery specifically. In the last 3 years, what has that looked like for you? Like going to meetings and like that community, and like you started out with a sponsor and then did you become a sponsor, like working the steps? I really just want to hear all about that.
So I did. I was a sponsor for a while.
First of all, I know all of this, but you guys might not know this. So
yeah, so I was a sponsor for a while. And I, it was nice to help somebody because what has been given to you, and you like the only way to give back is to like give it to somebody else. And I spent a lot of time in a lot of rooms, with a lot of addicts, a lot of people in recovery. And, I would be lying if I said that I still go to a lot of meetings. I don't. And I'm not saying to do that. But for me, I don't go to a lot of meetings. I still very much do my just for the today and look through, if I'm struggling or have a time where I'm kind of down, like I have my texts that I'll read and whatnot. But, So I think for me is that no matter where I go in, if I need to be in a room,
Yeah.
I have that foundation that I will go no matter what. It's not going to be like, oh, I haven't been to a meeting. Yeah, I don't feel that way. I could go to a meeting today.
Yeah.
And I have had people that I have helped along my journey in the beginning of their journey and have offered, like, hey, if you need to go to a meeting, I'd be happy to go with you. Like, I know it's hard. It's a hard thing to do when you walk. And I talked about that, walking into a room the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely.
And so I've offered that. Like, I'll go to a meeting with you or whatever. And so, but yeah, so my life doesn't revolve around meetings as much anymore. But I still have such a strong foundation in, recovery that I say I don't feel like I need it. I do. Everybody needs that. I just don't need it as often.
Yeah. I would say when we recorded the last time, a fragile piece had taken hold. Like you were fresh. Even a 1 year is still so fresh in recovery, and you need a lot of guidance and support and resources. And now it feels you obviously know more than I would, but it feels more stable. Like it feels like you are a lot more stable in your recovery now, 4 years later, just almost 4 years later.
Absolutely.
And we talked, you had mentioned in the last episode that you had gone to somebody to talk to them and like try to get them to go and get into like a recovery program, and they weren't ready. And you had to come to terms with that. I think it would be cool to share maybe a life update about this person. Like, we've never said who this person is, where they live, who they are, but like, I think that there's something very cool that could be shared about that person and acknowledged.
So yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay. So, so I have somebody that I also, like, we were addicts at the same time, hung out, partied, whatever. And I really tried to like push that, and he just wasn't ready. And then, he has now, had went to a treatment center and, has been in recovery and clean and sober and doing well, and has a beautiful family, and super happy, that he was able to find his way in his own time.
Exactly. And we talked about that in the beginning, is it has to be on their terms. Like, you can't.
Yeah, nobody's going to tell you when it's time. I mean, like, for example, Neil, the law kind of helped him with that. They were like, we won't be testing you,
They
buddy.
guided his recovery process.
But at some point the testing quit, and he has been, I'm going on 4 years. So he'll
be at 4 years.
He is. He just had his 4 years.
Oh,
so
we're so happy.
Yeah. Or it's about to happen.
It's very
within
close.
the next few days. He's going to hit 4 years. So, and that has been on his own. That has been his own doing. So, he might have had a little nudge in the right direction, but he had to do the work.
And listening to him talk like 4 years ago and hearing and like knowing where he is now,
it's amazing.
It really is. There's a lot has changed for him in the best ways. Yeah. Like, and he's had to go, it was not a linear, like a gradual straight up. No, it was like, there were ups and downs, just like anybody else. But I really am happy for where he is in his life right now.
Yeah.
And you have somebody else in your life that is going through kind of the same recovery process. And would we call it a process? Yeah. The steps.
Journey, whatever. Yeah, process, journey.
And I love to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I made my way. I took a trip for a family member, that I thought was it for them. I thought, okay, this is rock bottom. Like, we've hit it.
It's gotta be it.
I drove a long way. And when I arrived in the morning, because that's how long it took me to get there, they were like, nope, got to go to work. And I'm really sorry you drove all this way. And I had promised myself that when I got there, that if they were not willing to come with me, that I was going to call the police, because there had been some threats of self-harm. And I made sure that the threat of self-harm was removed. And I walked out. I cried. I feel like I'm going to cry now. I cried a majority of the way home, because I was just like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand my ground. I couldn't call the police and tell them this person wasn't safe. And I think it was about 3 weeks later, they had a very scary life event that I think there was some kind of big but a medical issue that probably was related to, maybe medication and drinking and the combination. But anyway, that person, I was able to, that was their rock bottom. So like 3 weeks later, that was their rock bottom. And I was actually able to call the people that helped me and say, what did the process look like to get this person into rehab? And I called, I'm not even kidding you, probably 40 places. It was right before Christmas. So I called like 40 places and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. And I'm calling. And everybody has all these different answers. And I finally am like, this person gives me a lot of information. And they're like, but he has to call.
Yeah.
So I tell him, I found a place, but you have to call. They will get you in for an intake, but you have to call. And then I had to just like hand it over.
Let it go. Yeah.
And if you know me, I'm very type A.
It was not an easy thing to let it go.
Yeah. So anyway, he called and he got an assessment done, an evaluation done, similar to what I talk about, I think probably. And I tried to tell him like, hey, they're going to ask you like everything. A
lot of questions.
You were there for that. It was very personal, in-depth, like 2-hour long questioning.
It was a lot.
So I tried to prepare him for that. And then, they set him up for rehab, and it was the day, I think, after like New Year's. And I was like, the whole time I'm like, I just don't see him going. Like I wanted him so badly to go, but then I'm like, this weight, I kept thinking he's going to change his mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think maybe if he was being honest, he would say like, there was a moment where I was like, oh, I don't need it. But anyway, he went. He spent his 21 days in there. I sent him tons of books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's a reader and I wanted him to just have things to read. I sent him books that he liked. And then I sent him Rescue Story, which is a book Zach bought for me about Zach Williams, because he's a Christian singer, but he did not start out that way. And he had a rough life and he was he's an addict. And so he talked about that. But anyway, I was able to now like help somebody through that process. And now it's been 5 months.
That's awesome.
January, February, March, April, May. Yeah. 5.
And we're almost done with May.
Yeah. We're going on 6 months, 5-6 months of sobriety. And this person probably hasn't ever had that since that they were like, well, I would say 30 years.
Wow.
So
I can't even imagine.
That's the one that is the one that I will always be grateful for.
So you talked about the first 30 days being the hardest. And I imagine for this person, if they had that extended like 30 years of addiction to just stop, I bet it was not great for them.
So if you ask that person, they will say it was not that bad. And
well, that's great.
Listen, I think sometimes when you hit a rock bottom, you just you're like
nothing
anything is better than this.
Yep, exactly.
But I did, I sent for them to have in recovery, like or in rehab, I sent them like my recollection of like the first 30 days and different things that I felt like helped me. And just tried to it was like a journal that they could continue to write it and make notes in.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
So,
and my first key tag.
Well, that's going to make
my just for today, the one day. Yeah. Forever is his.
We said that this wasn't going to be heavy, and that's not heavy. That's happy. That's a happy.
Yeah.
So in that first month, you had talked about detoxing being really hard and having like those almost demonic nightmares that were just
and
awful. You were changing like the people that you were with, the places that you were going, the things that you were doing. You felt lonely. You felt guilt for like leaving these people behind and like changing. and you really felt like you had to prove to people that you were serious and that you wanted to make that change. And then in that first month to that 6-month mark, you said that the hardest thing was the step work. And I wanted to talk about the step work because I remember, you're grieving that life isn't normal, which we said, whatever, nobody's life is normal, but also that that moral inventory, you had talked about that being like the hardest step that you had to work. So I was curious, and like the letting go, whatever that first thing is that you have to like surrender everything to God and like put it in his hands. You were like, I don't want to do that. But you did it, and you're going now on 4 years. So clearly it works.
It does. It works.
So my question is, I know I'm rambling.
And people will tell you in those meetings, keep coming back, and that you're supposed to respond. It works because it really does.
You are living proof that it does. And there are so many people in our community even that are living proof that you do recover and you can recover.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know, you had said that the step work was hard in that first 6 months. The detox was hard in the first month. What has been maybe the most challenging part in the last 3 years that you've experienced with sobriety?
Probably not. So I don't know. I think we might have talked about this before. I have like very intrusive thoughts. So I can be having the best day and be driving down the highway, and all of a sudden these thoughts just pop in. So the thoughts of seeing people and that I don't want to see, that I lived a lifestyle that I not like anymore or whatever, or like thinking about things that I did and things like that. Like just having those intrusive
like
thoughts.
Ruminating on those decisions and those memories.
Even though like that's not my life. It's not who I am. It wasn't who I was. Like it was just
when
something
you're
so deep in addiction, you just you do things. You're like, what in the world? But anyway, so probably I would say that, because like being around people drinking doesn't bother me, like, or not being drunk doesn't bother me around people who are drinking.
Yeah. I mean, you did karaoke at the bar, for crying out loud. I'm like big, like the high holy days of the bar.
I would say maybe like the hardest thing is we're just raw dogging life out here. Let me tell you, it's a hard day. I got nothing.
I said
it's a good day. I got nothing. Yeah, I'm me. Yeah. I'm everything that is happening in life. I'm dealing with it
without any kind
without anything.
Yeah.
There's no like taking the edge off. Like I'm raw dogging life.
Yeah. I said that at the hospital when I had to get like every ounce of blood drawn from my body, and the phlebotomist was like, I need that on a sticker. I'm like, I can make it for
I'm telling you, I'm out here just raw dogging life. And
you want to say it one more time. Say it one more time for the people in the back. Your mom is going to be like, oh,
girls. Yeah, a raw dogging life. Just nothing. But
it's true though.
But then I think you realize like how strong you are and like how much you can deal with.
Yeah.
Because there's been some tough things.
You have gone through incredible
things.
Incredible
daily
lows.
Sometimes work. I'm like, sometimes I can't even listen to the radio on the way home. I just have to drive in silence.
Can you relate, guys? I'm sure that there are people that are like, amen, sister.
And I'm not, taking the edge off. I'm not escaping into there's not an escape anymore.
Yeah.
This is your life. This is what you've been faced with, whether it's death, whether it's sadness, whether it's financial struggles, sickness, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, I have to figure out a way through this with the most focused and clear mind.
Yeah.
And you just do. You know, and I've realized that I can.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's raw dog.
Because there's no other choice.
Can raw dog life. Everybody raw dog in life.
Oh my God.
That can be a blooper.
Okay.
What else what other way do you want me to say it? That's a fun way
I
to
love
say
how you say it.
I say it all the time. I'm out here raw dog in life.
I love it. I'm here for it because I'm not. I will have a glass of wine because life is hard. And
and so the difference between you and me is that you can
have just the one.
Yeah, like it goes into if I were to get drunk, I would be drunk probably for the next few days, and then it would be every weekend.
Like a bender. It would just escalate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have such a better life now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm raw dogging it, and some days it's really hard, really, really, really hard. My life is so much better. I'm in such a better place, and I have shown, like, I've like learned, it's a learned behavior when you go through something like that and you don't use anything to like diminish feelings or not to think about it or whatever. Like, nope, we're thinking all the time. You gotta
have new like coping strategies.
You
and learning how to learn behaviors.
Yeah.
So talking about recovery and where you are, and I said that I wasn't going to lead this episode, but here I am talking. I'm so sorry.
I think you're doing great. Okay, just keep on.
I feel like an interviewer, like somebody interviewing like a celebrity. So this is fun. I remember talking about in the first episode, I actually forgot that I had said this. When I listened to it, I was like, I still stand by that I knew how serious you were when you started saying, I did this wrong, or this happened because of something I did. And you weren't blaming it on the alcohol. You were like, no, it was me. Mm-hmm. I did this. This was my choice. And I was like, yep, she's for real. And here we are. And I knew it, because there were times where you were like, I'm just going to self-manage. I'll just stick to one night a week or one drink at a time.
I was like, no, those were not.
Yeah.
Not for
me. I could see it. And I'm like, if she wants to try it, I'm going to support her because I'm glad that she wants to try to do different.
And it was never, when I would say things like that, it was, I just overdid it. Not that I had a problem that needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I overdid it. I'm going to just, go back a little bit,
Yeah, I'm just going to cut it back.
Scale back. Yeah.
And drink this instead of this. Mm-hmm. And so
all the things.
It was as soon as you started saying like, I messed up. I was like, mm-hmm. This is going to last. Like, this isn't the same as it's always been.
I always say that first 30 days was probably so that I didn't go to rehab.
Yeah. I mean, you did talk about that. You were so determined to not have to go.
Because I made a promise that day.
Yep.
And I am in my sober mind, I am a very stick to your word kind of person. I made a promise that day that if I messed up, if I relapsed, I would go to rehab.
Yep. You made that promise to your husband. You made it to the therapist or the psychologist, whoever we talked about.
Whoever that lady was. She knows all the secrets.
Yeah. I mean, you had somebody that you knew was going to come back and say, you need to do this.
Yeah.
Because that's what you said.
That first really hard 30 days, that was like, but then, and I think I might have talked about this, but I don't know if I've really talked. So I feel like I had like a divine intervention the day that I woke up. Like, when I say divine, and I don't mean to be weird, but like, I feel like a divine intervention. And I am thankful because I feel like God truly helped kind of take a desire away from me.
Yeah. You said that day that you had woken up and it was like the veil had been lifted. You could see yourself what you were
for the first time. And I just have never had that desire.
Yeah.
Like I had. I never am like, I want to go back to that, or I want to, it just isn't.
Well, because look at how great everything, nothing's perfect, but look at how much better life is now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about that. Like, obviously we talked with Zach and we heard some of the things
that was hard to re-listen to.
Yeah. It was. It kind of.
I actually talked to him today
before.
You? Yeah, I said, hey, so I told him what the episode was tonight that we were recording, and I said, I listened back, and I said, I didn't realize it at the time, and I think it was because I was still so focused on like my sobriety and like my recovery and like making sure that I'm doing what I need to for me, so that it like that all falls to everybody else. Mm-hmm. How hurt and how much hurt he had.
Yeah.
And so I asked him today, I was like, do you feel like you have recovered from the damage that was done? And he was like, yeah, I have. So that felt good because good. In that, listening to him, I'm like,
he was
broken.
Yeah. I mean, and I appreciated his candor and like his open honesty.
Zach will never tell a lie.
No.
What is that?
No, never mind. Not that one.
It's like, I'll never tell a lie or something. I don't know. Zach will never tell a lie. Mm-hmm. Like he is himself.
That's where Brinley gets it. That has to be where her like hard truth bluntness comes from.
And the sensitive side.
Yes.
Like when I say sensitive, like they gonna tell you how it is, but you better not tell them.
You better never say it to me.
She gets both of those from her daddy. Love you, babe.
LOL. That's funny. But like he had made the comment that he felt so lonely, like he was on an island, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
how true."
Going like when I was really deep in my addiction, yeah, he said that. He said that he felt like lonely and on an island, and I was like, and then I thought he now has a different island to be on, and it's sad, but like we don't have a lot of people our age that have lost a parent, you know, yeah. And I feel bad like that. Like, I thought of that today.
Yeah,
but he's a trooper. Like there are sometimes I'd be like, are you really okay?
Yeah.
Well, I need you to tell me because you're really good at faking okay.
Well, yeah, because when I listened to that episode, he had said something along the lines of everyone was so proud of Hannah and everyone was so happy that she was doing better, but nobody acknowledged me at all. Like nobody asked me how I'm doing.
Yeah, where's my slack?
Yeah. I remember that. And I had forgotten until I listened that I was like, ooh, yep, I remember. Because I was like, cut her some slack, man. And he's like, what about my slack? And that's, I think, when I knew that he and I were going to be bonded for life. Because like he felt comfortable enough to be that vulnerable.
He would not say that to a lot of people.
Yeah. So I felt like, okay.
Not when so Zach will say, well, he is himself, but he's not super vulnerable with people.
Yeah.
And he was in that interview. I was so proud of him for being so vulnerable and honest.
Yeah, me too. Because it shows that it's not just one person. Addiction doesn't affect one person. It's a system. It affects so many people.
It did. And I had listened back to myself, like when I poured that bottle out and like, I hear this, oh girl, I cried again on the way home. I was like, oh.
So I did want to ask you touched on the relationship like that you had with Corbin kind of at that time and how, you know, he was really hard on you when you were in addiction and like so proud of you in the beginning. And like, I want to know, I mean, I know, but like, I want to talk about how those relationships are now. Like,
oh my gosh,
how much repair has happened since then.
So much. My kids,
I got chills.
They know, I hope I can say this without crying because it should just be the way it is. They know that,
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, I think I'm going to too. This is supposed to be lighthearted and fun.
It's happy. This is the good stuff.
They know that I'm going to be there. They know that I am dependable. They know that they never have to worry about what condition I am in. You know, there have been a lot of times where at the last minute, like they needed something. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to be sober because like what if I wouldn't have been, you know?
Yeah.
A ride, call, needing something, being sick. Like there's so many different things. And, you know, Corbin and I kind of grew up together. And so our relationship is a little bit different. And I know some people probably judge me and that's okay. But him and I have a different type of relationship. I'm not so much an authoritarian with him because we were kids growing up. I was a kid raising a kid. And so we have just a really open, honest relationship. And, you know, and he had a little girlfriend. I mean, it wasn't a serious girlfriend that had a biological mom that, you know, was in addiction. And he was like, we talked about like our different experiences. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm this kid's trauma.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But I've been able to have really honest conversations with my kids, you know, just about, you know, why this isn't a good idea or why we shouldn't do this or why that. And it all goes back to like science and DNA, man. Like I'm telling you, it's in our blood. It's not good. Like, you know, and it's just being able to be the person and the mom that I was meant to be.
Yeah.
Without anything interfering. I'm not perfect, but
well, no, I mean,
I'm
nobody is
super close with all three of my children will tell me things that they don't maybe not always want to tell other people. Ask questions that they're embarrassed to ask other people or whatever. Like that was always the relationship I wanted to have. And so to be able to have that and to also be present and remember and be a part and I'm present. I'm where my feet are. I'm not escaping. We're not, you're not having to worry about if mom's making a fool of herself.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And I think that a bit of respect was put back on my name, because it's like,
okay, she's handling her business.
She's handling her business. And also I can't act like she's never been through what I'm going to go through in life.
I have, I feel like there was a lot of trust that was built back.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Because even, 4 years ago, Brinley would have been 6 and Corbin would have been 10? No. 12.
12. I was
12. Math is hard, you guys. I'm not a mathematician.
It hit me. I was like, wait, what?
So they were, in very different stages of life from each other and also from where they are now. And I feel like, you have done a lot to repair and build that trust. They know that they can call you. And as much as sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, stop calling me. You have kids that know that you are their person that they're going to call.
Yeah.
And if they can't get a hold of you, they're calling me.
And for Brinley, the summer that I was not living in the house is like a faint memory for her.
Yeah.
Which I'm so grateful for. But when I first came back, and I would say up until pretty recently, probably within the last year, she almost had anxiety if she was not with me or if I was leaving.
Yeah. She still does
going to come back, but we're slowly working through that. And I'll own that. I blame, my actions on that of, leaving at night, not coming home, or coming home in the middle of the night or coming home in the morning. And just the moving out part, of her being separated from me at any point. So she's like, she's attached to my hip now, but
it's just consistency over time. Just being able, and you've done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can stand here and say like, you haven't had a single relapse at all. Like you're doing it.
Yep.
So we kind of talked about like your relationship with Zach. We talked about that in the last episode and like our relationship and how the things that you've gone through have kind of brought you together. I do think that tremendous loss helped mend some fences because it's like, I'm here for you at your worst. You were here for me at my worst. Like, let's build each other back up and get somewhere
that
solid.
Lowest. Yeah. You hit a low point. And of course his was not to any of his doing, but that really low point. And it's like, I got you, you had me, I got you. And just being able to really be honest and like all there were no walls, any little bit of walls that were left when Zach had, the loss of his dad, they're gone. You can't go through a loss like that and have walls up. I mean, maybe you can. Physically, he could not.
I was going to say, I mean, maybe like he might have tried.
I mean, the moment that we even knew that his dad was sick, like his dad, something emergent happened and he was at the hospital, I was on my phone finding plane tickets. Like, you have to go. You have to go now. Yeah. Like, we need to get you out of here. And that exact same day, within hours, I was driving him to Springfield, getting him on a plane so he could go. Like, I was like, you need to go. And I wanted to go. Leaving my husband at an airport, not knowing what was going to be at the end of that flight was hard.
Yeah.
And when he found out that his dad was not going to be okay, and being thousands of miles away from him and hearing him on the phone, like, I will say it to this point, if anything ever bad is going to happen again, I probably will not leave my husband's side, because the thought of not being able to be there with him, and I just think that is the bond and the connection that you have with somebody that you literally went through the trenches with. I mean, we dug through the trenches multiple times in our relationship.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about also like faith and, how that looked. And I just was curious how that's changed for you. Like, has your faith or your relationship with God changed? Your relationship with your faith changed? Like, how does that look now in recovery?
So I would say that like my faith has grown really strong. It's something that I rely on every day. And I've been able to, again, like help people, reach out to people, meet people that I never would have if like I wouldn't have went through what I went through. We had a women's night and I was able to share kind of my story.
I was going to talk about that too. It's like you were able to testify and like share that testimony with people.
And like, I love to be like, I worked really hard. I did.
Yeah.
I did work really hard. But let me tell you something. Jesus was working just as hard on me. Like, he was like, what are we going to do with you, sister?
Can I ask you a really hard question that might not make the final cut?
Sure.
Does your relationship with your faith feel more authentic now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so.
100%.
I thought so, but I was like, what if she's like offended that I asked her that? I feel like you have been very vulnerable post like in your recovery.
100%.
Like I feel like that kind of vulnerability builds that authenticity with your relationship with the Lord.
I feel like I've been like that, like
your whole life. Faith, like I don't want to, I don't want to discredit
my family,
that.
Like I just feel like I can be who I am, and like I felt like I had to hide. Like you say, like I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong, but I did because I was two different people. There was the Hannah that everybody saw, and then there was the Hannah that nobody saw.
Dr. Jekyll
or
and
very
Mr. Hyde.
Little saw.
Yeah.
And so to be able to be like, this is me.
Yeah.
You know, this is who I am. And like, listen, I am in the car being like, okay, bro.
Calling the Lord bro is hilarious.
I'm like, listen. Today was not the vibe. And I don't know how to make I am on this path. We're not going off the path, but I'm gonna need your help.
Yeah.
Because right now life is tough. Like that, you know, I have those conversations. So yeah, I feel like I can reach people that need reached with things that they're not like, oh, like you don't know what. No,
yeah, exactly.
I do, and it sucks and it's rough, and it's not because you're a POS and you just decided one day I'm just gonna love drugs and alcohol and I want to just be like a horrible human being. It's because there's something in our brain that you drink or you do drugs and you're like,
yeah. And let the first person without sin be the first to condemn. Like, it's just, nobody's perfect.
Well, and we've talked about this recently. Like, before I was an addict, I was judgy of addicts. I was like, oh, wow, they're just ruining their life over here.
Yeah.
Not being a good mom, doing
and then life humbled you a little bit.
And life was like, a skirt.
Yeah.
But I didn't see myself that way.
Yeah.
But now, like, out of it, you're like, ooh.
Listening to, like, some of the stuff Zach would say, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, just the growth has been incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that
if I can do it, anybody can do it. Let me just say that. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I literally have the worst willpower ever.
It's hard. But on that note, the first episodes we released maybe like 2 days after your 1 year. When this episode comes out, you will be celebrating your 1,404th day of sobriety.
Hey.
And I thought that was pretty damn awesome.
That's awesome.
So I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not going to cry again. So
it has been, again, humbling. I think that what I saw, the transformation in my life, like I said, I worked at it. I did work, but the transformation of my life is probably what has made my faith so strong.
Yeah. Because
like there are things that I can't even explain that I'm like, God's got my back. Like he has got me. And that's been, but yeah, just being able to look back and it feel like it's a distant dream versus thinking about it all the time. And like, you know, and it's okay to think about things and to talk about it and to whatever, but like, it's also okay to like go, that's not the life I live anymore. Like, that's not the life. That is not me. So like,
we don't know her.
Yeah. If you did know me at that time and you're sitting here like, whatever. Yeah, I would be rolling my eyes at me too. I am not the same person.
No, not even at all.
No.
Not even at all. And even for like, I feel like our relationship and bond has grown so much in the last 4 years. Like from day 1 to day 1,404, like we are just in such a different place than we were.
Yeah.
For the good, for the better.
For the best.
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, you
like, bro, you cannot you know everything.
Yeah. You literally, really are my sister.
There is not literally anything that you don't know. So like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
She's gonna end up missing if she tries to go somewhere because she knows.
Write it down. Laura, listen, Laura, SOS.
Oh, Laura. We love Laura.
Yes.
No, but for real, like you have been there with me through it all. And not only that, but like the amount of love and care that you give my family. And I hope that you feel we give it back to you because we love you and you're a part of our family. Literally, you pulled up the other night and Zach's like, our wife's here. You know what I mean? Like it's a joke, but
I love that.
He calls you Wiffy because his phone, when he goes to call you, because I changed you to wifey in my phone. And so his phone changed because somehow we're like linked up. It's got to be our Gmail, our business Gmail. Anyway, it says calling Wiffy. And so he's like, Wiffy's here.
Wiffy's here.
But like the amount of love that you give my family, my kids, like that is something that I don't even know if like biological siblings do that much. And so like you're just stuck with us forever and ever and ever. Fine. Amen.
That's fine.
Your family, like they opened their home to us on Easter because like I had to work and then like I just was like, I can't have anything at my house. Like they open their door, like those kind of things. I take that, like that means something to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That means a lot to me.
And it's not like meaningless gestures. Like we don't do that. I mean, my mom probably would do that for everybody.
Your mom would feed the world if she could.
She would. I wouldn't. I would not. I'm very selective about the people that I have in my life. Yeah. And I choose you. I choose you. I choose your family every single day. Zach was salty the other night when I thought he was asleep in his chair. And I like personally said, love you, Hannah. Love you, Brindley. And I was walking out the door and Zach, you looked at me and looked at him. And I was like, oh, he's asleep. He said, no, I'm not. I was like, oh, my bad. You don't ever say it back. So
no, he doesn't. Leaving. No, he doesn't. But I've built some very strong relationships. And I honestly, I think I've rediscovered me.
I was going to say you being sober, that has allowed you to be there for me in ways that you wouldn't have been able to have been during some of the hardest seasons of my life.
Yeah.
And I am thankful for that because there's some shit I don't know if I could have gotten through, Sorry, Pam. I know I've dropped a couple curses in this, but it's so authentic. And I had to say them. I'll lock it up now because I respect you and I appreciate you listening to the podcast. But I got a lot of feelings right now.
I'm dead.
I just want to stand in rainbows and whatever. She doesn't even go here. She doesn't even go here. Sheesh. Okay.
But no, I am who I am unapologetically, and no matter what room I'm in, I am who I am. And I don't have to pretend. I can be me. Sometimes you get the like more vulnerable version of me versus the maybe like a little bit guarded version. That's depending on who you are.
I was going to say that's how you act. That depends on your behaviors.
But like I am who I am. I don't have to hide. I don't have to be fake. I don't whatever. And I don't have to be ashamed.
Yeah. And isn't that nice?
It is.
To just be able to walk around as you and not give a single thought.
You promised.
I did, and I've kept my promise.
I was like,
not give it a single thought that, I don't care if somebody thinks that I'm being too much or if I'm being not enough or if I'm doing. Because what you think of me, that's your business.
Yeah. Or if people were like, oh, well, you should have seen her back in 20 whatever. And they're like, and I'd be like, yep. You should have.
Yep. You missed the party. You missed it. Because it ain't coming again.
It was a great time until I wasn't.
Yeah. Yes. I had to physically pick you up and move you from a fight that you weren't even involved in. Yes, there was. We were.
I'm like, I don't even. I told you guys I blacked out a lot.
Yeah, there was like you were trying to break up two people from fighting, and somehow you got in the fight. Edge? Yes, or whatever it was, and I was like, no, we're staying out of this one, babe. And you were like, but I need to help. I don't give up. And I was like, bear hug. We're leaving. And I rounded all of you up and put you in the car.
Time to go.
Time to go. Wrap it up. Yeah.
Is that the night that I was like, he's being Kirsten?
Yes.
It's the only time I ever remember you going out with us.
It's the first and the last.
We can cut all this out.
We can. But yeah, that was the first and the last. I was like, I ain't doing this again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
This is not for me.
I don't have any kind of like pretty ending to this. I just, if you listened 3 years ago, I'm still doing the thing. Yeah. And I plan on doing it for the rest of my life. I got a lot of people who are watching me. And when I say that, I care about me, but I also care about those people that I made sometimes unspoken promises to.
I know what you're saying.
And man, I don't ever want to let those people down ever again.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't think there's any better way to end that.
I mean, we're just out here raw dogging life, guys.
Oh,
I had to get it in one more day.
That's what she said. So, on that note, thank you guys again for listening, for being on this incredible journey with Hannah, and just being a witness to that, and just being able to experience it. I feel like we're at church right now.
Hallelujah.
Testify. Next week I was right. We are doing conspiracies in this summer rewind. I think we're going to look at some old ones and maybe talk about some new ones.
I'm so excited, you guys.
We're also going to do a revamp of our goals, looking at all the goals that we had talked about. So that's up to 4 episodes. I tried to remember all of them. We're going to do like a trends, like a what's hot, what's not, like a taste test thing.
I was going to say, were we going to do where I can figure out if something's from somewhere? I'm really good at that, you guys.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to have like a look how far we've come episode. That's like the last episode of the summer. And then a true crime update. We're also going to have a true crime update. I actually think that's what next week's is, but it doesn't matter. We can.
I sure hope so, because that one I'm really excited about.
We've got some things to discuss.
Yeah.
So stick with us on this summer rewind, and we will see you guys next week. I'm Bianca.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are Taking Back Sunday. Perfect.
Man, that was easy.
It was.
I knew it would be.
I knew it would be too.
Although I really, again, wasn't trying to make it so dang heavy.
I didn't expect it. I kind of thought maybe you would cry. I didn't think I would cry. I was like, I'm denied. Ain't happening. Denied. I love that so much. So
I feel like I am who I am unapologetically, no matter.
You're going to need to say that word again.
Apologetically?
Unapologetically.
Okay.
It sounded like you said puddle. I was like, puddle? Unapuddle? What? Sorry.
You're fine. I am who I am. Unapologetically. Is that better? Okay. I'm going to do it one more time. For some reason, my tongue don't want to move the right way. Ooh! Tuberculosis.
I got it. The hantavirus.
Oh, Lord. Havana virus.
The Havana virus or whatever you
Havana.
I think
it was a cruise ship.
You're going to make me pee. But yeah, probably. Okay.
So